Hey, and welcome back to Anime Casuals. This is Michael, and today we are looking through the anime season of 2022 Winter Edition. So I thought we would have a little fun with this while we're going through and deciding what we're going to watch this season and what we're going to assign to our weekend talk. Well, let's also assign this to Lucky and Johnny here. So let's start off with our very first one, Akebi's. Oh my goodness, I just can't pronounce Japanese words sometimes. Sailor Uniform. Akebi's Sailor Uniform. Robai Private Academy is well-known girls' junior high school in the countryside. Komichi Akebi is a girl who, for a certain reason, has dreamed of wearing the Robai Academy Sailor Uniform. Her dreams come true. Her heart races, and as the end of the day of the school entrance ceremony arrives. This absolutely seems like a pretty typical, I guess, slice of life high school anime. There's nothing that really sets us apart. I would attribute this to Lucky watching it, but honestly, I really can't see any of us watching it. So this is going to be a, you know what? We'll full send this whole thing. This will be a Lucky. I will try and send everything so that way I'm getting an accurate score. This will be a Lucky anime. Ari Ferretta, absolutely not. A big old skip. If you'd watched season 1 already, I would say yeah. I mean, Attack on Titan Final Season Part 2. Big spoilers here, and I'm not going to click on it in case you haven't seen any Attack on Titan yet. Yes, we are going to watch this. Absolutely, we're going to watch this, all three of us. It's probably going to be part of our weekend talk. Demon Slayer, of course, all three of us are going to watch it. This is already on our weekend talk. It has a double-length first episode, which is amazing. That's 50 minutes of hard, amazing Demon Slayer action. So yes, we're gonna watch this. 831. Whoa, interesting. Never heard of Craftar before. Sounds like Reptar. In the present day, the world is in turmoil due to an unprecedented disaster. A young man living in Tokyo, Suzishiro, has a secret he cannot tell anyone. And that secret is that he can stop time around him despite his thoughts. Interesting. One day he meets a girl named Nazuna who has the same power. When he learns that she is being used in a crime, he impulsively reaches out to her. Interesting. This comes out at the end of January. Oh, it's a TV special? So is it a one-off? If any of you know what this anime is about, let me know, because this sounds pretty interesting, and I think we may watch this. So I'm going to say all three of us are going to have a nice watch of this. Fantasia Songo, Realm of the Legends. Okay, I read this one earlier, and this seems like a very traditional fantasy, like, adventure. It like, literally in the first sentence, when the three kingdoms are ravaged by demons and monsters, four heroes with little in common must unite to fight the realm's most vicious enemies. That's like 3 billion RPGs that are out there. That's like so many video games. And maybe that's why Geek Toys is making it. It does say it's a game, so maybe this is based on a game that came out previously. I have no idea, but certainly you'll see a quick cut of it above my head at some point. I'm going to say hard pass. Okay, Girls Frontline, another game. The game's story is set in an alternative timeline near future Earth in the 2060s. The aftermath of a military accident that resulted in widespread disease, as well as the recent conclusion of a careless nuclear war, has massively depopulated the planet, rendered much of the surface uninhabitable, and reduced once great nations to shadows of their former selves. Ooh, it's about androids who fight on the front lines of battle. I mean, that sounds like a gacha game right there. Collect the frontline girls and put them into your waifu club. I think Johnny may watch this. This is going to be just a Johnny anime right here. How a Realist Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom Part 2. This is the next season. Lucky's going to be watching this. He watched season 1. This is an easy point dunk for me. Okay, here's one. In the land of Leadale, due to a terrible accident. What's with all the terrible accidents? Kana Kagame is forced to live on life support in order to survive. The only way for her to be free is within the VR MMORPG Leodale. Ooh, okay, a little like Sword Art Online, like second half of season 1 type of action here. Okay. One day her life support stops functioning and she loses her life. But when she wakes up, she finds herself in the world of Leodale 200 years in the future. She is now the half-elf Kana, who possesses lost skills and OP statuses and becomes closer to the other inhabitants of this world. But among those inhabitants happen to be the children she made in character creation. What? A very chill adventure filled with laughter and tears. Adventure comedy fantasy makes sense. About a girl who transferred into a game world and her very unique friends is about to begin. Oh, that sounds nice. I know Johnny and I are going to watch it. You know, the good thing about Johnny is how he can win all these is he watches a lot of anime with me and watches a few anime on his own. So those are going to be the hard ones that I'm going to have to decide, like, am I not going to watch it with him and see if he watches it on his own. Okay, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stone Ocean. This has a Johnny and Lucky. Johnny's actually making his way through some JoJo right now. We'll see if he makes it all the way through. But it makes it a little easier because a lot of it's on Netflix, if not all of it's on Netflix. So I would definitely say this is Johnny, and hopefully Lucky will jump back in, and I'll just full send and say both of them are going to watch this. This is a hard no, not because it doesn't look good, but because I don't believe some of us are going to watch another short form anime. Life with an ordinary guy who reincarnated into a total fantasy knockout. Okay, I don't even need to read this to know that this is an isekai. So let's read. Childhood friends Tachibana Hinata and Jinjugi Tsukasa were living the everyday life of office workers when, on their way home from a mixer, they were sent flying into another world by a mysterious being. Of course. Once there, Jinjugi sees his best friend has been turned into a beautiful blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl. Interesting. That's probably the two of them right there in front. They're probably incredibly beautiful people. Weird. I think we're going to watch it, though. So I definitely think Lucky and Johnny will watch this. Absolutely. We're not watching Lord Almalolo, blah, 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 and so none of us are watching this. Love of Kill. This is a romance assassin anime where two assassins like slowly fall in love with each other. This seems like all up Lucky's alley, so this is a Lucky anime. This is a Johnny anime, just from the word Monster Development Department, because he's watched a lot of monster anime and loved all of them, and I'm hoping this follows the same. Looking at this front cover, I would say this is a Johnny anime. This is a, basically somebody who is in the monster development department keeps, it seems like it's going to be kind of like work/comedy, so I'm going to enjoy that one. My Dress Up Darling is a cosplay anime about a high school boy named Gojo, or Wakana Gojo, who becomes a master craftsman who makes traditional Japanese Hina dolls pop. And he's very gung-ho about it. In fact, he doesn't really have any friends due to it, and he lies to his grandpa. How dare he? But he meets Marin Kitagawa, who is a huge cosplay nerd, but sucks at sewing and making their own costumes. So they team up, and it looks like it's going to be all about cosplay. Okay, I can skip past most of these. We're not watching this. Orient. When unidentified creatures known as Kishin suddenly appeared in Japan, all of the most famous military leaders were killed in battle. Then, 150 years later, demons still rule the world. Only the band of Bushi continues the fight for freedom. Musashi and Kojiro, these two boys right here, out of admiration for these brave fighters, and because one of them's related, strive to form the strongest band of Bushi in this classic battle action story of friends passionately chasing a dream. Now, I'm really hoping this is going to be pretty good and an interesting in-depth storytelling about why the demons took over. Maybe some of the demons don't like that. Maybe they learn a little bit about themselves on the journey, and hoping this is going to be a little bit more than just a typical shonen. Police in a Pod. Madhouse. Good. Okay. About police officers. Okay. About a new female director at her station and learning about the new female director. Interesting. So it's kind of like a master apprentice story while also being about work life as a police officer. Maybe exactly what the world needs. Maybe it's just going to be a straightforward, story about cops. Who knows? I haven't watched the first episode yet, even though it's out. If you have, absolutely let me know how it is. Requiem of the Rose King is Richard III, Shakespeare's play retold. I think all of us have no interest, but if I were to place anybody to watch this would be a lucky anime. Orient is going to be all three of us. Rusted Armors. The area is a turbulent warring states period in Hinomoto, Kinokuni, the unexplored region of the mountains and the sea. In the depths of this deep forest, there is a group using Yatagarasu as their flag symbol and using guns and weapons. Their name is the Saikashu. It is Magoichi who arrived from a foreign country that inherited the name as the head of the Saikashu. On the other hand, Soburo quickly senses the signs of aggression from European powers and struggles to protect Hinomoto. Okay. The fate of the two would not be original. Okay, this is interesting. Now, this is what confused me. Okay, so this seems like a traditional story between, two people who need to work together, right? And it's called Rusted Armors. Now we get into this next one that has the word rust wind in it. So I don't know what these two anime are about. His powerful bow. Also, nobody's watching this. I don't think anybody's going to watch this. Now, this one, I feel like people are going to watch. Look at this first sentence already. His powerful bow pierces the rust of destruction to save the people he loves. A thrilling adventure and action story. Already sounds very interesting. Set in a future Japan where everything has rusted away and the rust wind threatens to wipe out humanity, the whole world is now a desert, and the protagonist Bisco Akaboshi uses his bow and his special mushrooms as a mushroom protector and a noble thief who causes chaos all across Japan. I gotta be honest, I think we're gonna be watching this, but really, this is probably gonna be a lucky discovery, and then the rest of us are gonna watch it. Maybe a Johnny discovery. You know what? I'm gonna assign this to Johnny. She professed herself pupil of the wise man. Oh, I get it. Okay. So this is another like isekai, like kind of like Overlord or How Not to Summon a Demon Lord, where they wake up inside the game they were playing, and this young guy who's playing this old looking character on the left, adds an in-game vanity item that changes his old man into a young girl, and then he was going to do it just for fun, but then the night expired and he woke up in her body. So I'm guessing she's saying, I'm this guy's pupil who is like a well-known character inside this world. We'll see if I get it right, and then she'll have to go adventure, and what's the tie here? What's the catch? What's going on in this world that's going to be the problem? Who knows? Slow loop. You have one girl who goes out fishing, and this is like kind of a fishing slice of life anime. Another girl goes out fishing. They're right next to each other and go, "Hey, why are you out here?" "Oh, I want to get away from my family before I have to meet my extended family." The other one says the exact same thing, and they go, "Oh, well, I guess we're meeting each other and we're actually going to be relatives." It sounds really fun. It sounds like a nice, easy anime to watch. I would say this is right up Lucky in my alley. A nice slice of life that's about wholesome values. Is this about golf? Oh my god. Not going to watch it, but interesting. Hopefully this is going to be better than the hockey anime that was just out, which had very little hockey. Lucky's going to be watching this, absolutely. The Genius Prince's Guide to Raising a Nation Out of Debt. So it's kind of like the realist hero rebuilding his kingdom, except it's all comedy based. So this guy's like, "Oh, you know what I'm gonna do to get rich and make sure my nation's not in debt? I'm gonna sell my nation piece by piece." And then something happens where someone discovers his treasonous king schemes, and they all lead to accidental victories, and then his nation starts getting bigger. So I'm guessing it's going to be a series of accidents where this guy's like, no, I want everything to fail, and everything works out well. Strongest sage with the weakest crest. He gets reincarnated in a world of low magical power, and he gets the optimal magic crest, or optimal crest for magical combat on his first try. Unfortunately, the world he's been born into has abysmally poor standards when it comes to magic, so he's probably going to be another OP character. Tokyo 24th Ward, we all watched the first one. First episode was like 15 minutes, which is awesome. It's about a region called the 24th Ward, and in this 24th Ward, 3 guys try to save their friend when they were in like middle school, high school. I think it was high school, and their friend dies, unfortunately. And then a year later, they reunite just by happen chance at her memorial service, and they all get a phone call, which is from their friend who's supposed to be dead, and then they all become superhuman through this experience. So it actually looks pretty interesting, and like it's going to have a nice mystery story to it. I am definitely going to be watching it, and all of us are going to be watching it. Maybe it'll be on our Weekend Talk. Tribe 9 is baseball. Nope. Oh, and we get to end with this. This is absolutely a Johnny anime. It's the year 2040, and 99.9% of the men, 99.9% of men on the planet have died, and now the ratio is 5 billion women to every 5 men. And guess what? There's only 5 men left and only 5 billion women left. So basically, this guy named Reito is being required to mate and repopulate humankind before everything becomes basically before everybody starts to die, because there's no repopulation. But he wants to go get the love of his life, so he's gonna go do that. Certainly an interesting season. I don't know how many of these are gonna be bangers, to be honest, but I mean, obviously we got Attack on Titan season 2. We've got a couple of other anime down here that I'm, Demon Slayer looks good. I'm looking forward to Orient. That seems pretty good. I don't know about Land of Leodel, but that might be pretty sad at the beginning. I'm looking forward to it. And I can tell you for sure that we're going to be watching... We're probably going to watch this, to be honest. So Bikui Bisco sounds interesting. And we're going to be watching this one at the end, World's End Harem. But let us know what you think we should be watching, at least for this season. We would love any recommendations, because we already have like a list of 4 or 5, and we don't want our weekend talks being endlessly long, but we're okay with them. We'll see how everything turns out. As always, you can catch us on animecasualsreal@gmail.com. As well as you can catch the podcast by Lucky right here. He does 5 podcasts Monday through Friday, and then we have 2 that come out on the weekends with all 3 of us. He loves to talk, doesn't he? And of course, you can also find us on YouTube all the time at Anime Casuals. So we'll see you next time, and as always, keep it casual.